So when Lisa Leslie is on Angel Reese's podcast and gets asked anything you would want me to work on going into year 2, Lisa Leslie has a laundry list she's already written out. Your layups suck. Your layups suck. You can't finish. You can't finish. You can't. Lisa Leslie had I
don't know what the scouts were looking at. I really don't. But following the 7, God has a plan, and it is what it is. And you ended up in Chicago, but I'm just telling you.
Going into season,
you were ready.
Thank you. Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give?
Ever wonder what happens when a basketball star's ego outgrows her skills? Angel Reese's new podcast, Unapologetically Angel, is giving us front row seats to that exact spectacle, and boy, is it a doozy.
Angel Reese on the Unapologetically Clout Chasing Caitlin Clark podcast. I think that's what it's called. Unapologetic Clout Chasing of Caitlin Clark podcast, hosted by Angel Reese.
From WNBA legends roasting her lapes to dismal viewership numbers, Reese's attempt to stay relevant is backfiring in the most cringeworthy way possible. You won't believe what her own mentor Lisa Leslie had to say about her game. Stick around as we dive into this train wreck that's got the basketball world buzzing. Are you ready? Let's go. You know what? Wild Angel Reese can't seem to shake off Caitlin Clark's shadow. Even on her own turf, Reese launched Unapologetically Angel to give fans a peek into her life beyond the court. But it's turned into an unexpected comedy of errors every single episode. No matter who's sitting across from her or what topic they start with, somehow ends up circling back to the one and only Caitlin.
Because of women's basketball, whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. This is your platform. So how do you feel about that situation?
I think just being able to be in that moment of it happening, you never realize how something can literally change your life. And knowing my 5 fingers and my other finger pointing at my hand could literally have changed my life for like forever.
It's like Clark has become this invisible guest star that Reese can't escape. Is it the guests who keep bringing her up, or is Reese subconsciously steering the ship towards Clark Island? We've got to wonder what's really going on in Reese's head. Is it a case of intense rivalry, secret admiration? Or is Clark just that much of a dominant force in women's basketball right now?
People love Caitlin Clark, besides her skills.
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like Steph Curry, I love. You know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before.
Let's break it down episode after episode. We're seeing this pattern unfold. 1 minute Reese is chatting about her favorite pregame rituals, and the next, bam, someone's gushing about Clark's latest record-breaking performance. It's almost comical how predictable it's become. Fans on social media are having a field day with it, suggesting the podcast should be rebranded as the Caitlin Clark Show, hosted by
Lisa Leslie appears on Angel Reese's podcast, Unapologetically Angel. She gives angels some advice. Just a hint, it has to do with her layups.
Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups.
But here's where it gets interesting. This Clark-centric content might actually be doing Reese a favor. Think about it. Every time Clark's name comes up, it's drawing more attention to Reese's podcast. Basketball analysts are noticing too, pointing out how Reese's attempts to highlight her own journey often get overshadowed by discussions of Clark's achievements.
It's just a fact. She is, it's more than a fact. She is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats. I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%. It's like WNBA leveling up and all eyes on her now. I think that she knows that she has to completely restructure her form, because that is not the way to be efficient in the post position that she is in. At the post position that she's in, a layup is supposed to be a given. She needs to improve her touch around the rim, like all over the place, but she seems to take these desperation.
You got to wonder what this is doing to Reese's image and the goal she had for her podcast. Did she set out to create a platform where she'd constantly be compared to Clark, or is this just an unexpected twist in the Angel Reese story? It's a fine line between staying relevant and becoming obsessed, and right now, It's hard to tell which side Reese is landing on. Are you ready to hear what Reese's so-called mentor said about her?
Kennedy Carter Instagram account right here, guys. And I'm here to tell you, bruh, she's been going on a little rant all night long. Now, this is the tweet right here that kind of sparked everything. She stated, I think the ability to consistently make layups just put anyone in a different tier. So important to score easy. Now, a lot of people is insinuating that this tweet is towards Angel.
You thought the Caitlin Clark comparisons were tough. Well, Angel Reese's latest podcast episode just took an unexpected turn into awkward city when WNBA legend Lisa Leslie stepped into the unapologetically Angel studio. Fans probably expected some lighthearted banter and maybe a few nuggets of wisdom. Instead, they got a front row seat to what can only be described as a public roasting session. Leslie, apparently not one for sugarcoating, decided to keep it real, and I mean really real.
It's like I've been telling y'all, bro. She has been making it her business to sneak this Angel Reese every chance she get. Now, since she's been cut, it look even more obvious. Somebody said, LOL, you ain't down. Now, this tweet right here just popped up here. Somebody tried to come into the defense of her because we know she's a free agent. So, like, if you throw teammates, ex-teammates under the bus, that's going to hurt you even more.
Has nobody mentioned this to Angel Reese through 17 to 23 years old? So every time she would meet a legend or meet somebody in the WNBA, meet a player, instead of saying, hey, Angel, let me talk to you real quick. Instead of looking out for her, you guys just do this again, because it's okay. It's okay.
Let's break this down, shall we? Leslie, a two-time WNBA champ and arguably one of the most dominant players in women's basketball history, didn't waste any time getting to the point. She looked Reese dead in the eye and dropped this truth bomb. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your lapes, period. Ouch. Can you imagine sitting there trying to host your own show while your basketball idol basically tells you that your fundamental skills need serious work? But wait, it gets better or worse depending on how you look at it.
Oh, she can't be rookie of the year because all she do is do the flip shots, get rebound. Just remember all that shit that they say. You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jameson. You know who Antoine Jameson is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is. Like, everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry. Your
Leslie didn't stop at just critiquing Reese's layup form. She went full statistician on us, pointing out that Reese averaged a measly 39.1% from the field during her rookie season. For those of you who aren't basketball nerds, that's not great, especially when you consider that Reese was shooting below 50% on shots less than 5 feet from the basket. That's like missing half your shot right at the rim, you know, the easiest place to score from.
He called her Antoine Jameson. Most people, trust me, she was offended.
She didn't know who that was.
She probably does. She's a basketball fan. She probably does. But I mean, Antoine Jameson ain't cracking nobody's top 200 in NBA history. And this woman thinks she's one of the greatest WNBA players or greatest women's basketball player of all. Tack just called her a role player, not a star, certainly not a superstar, not a legend. Hey, you remind me of Antoine Jameson. Oh, nice player. Put up 20,000 points. No one's really heard of him. I think Antoine played at North Carolina. Anyway, Shaq slams Angel Reese to her face.
Now picture this scene. Reese probably sweating bullets trying to maintain her cool as Leslie just keeps dishing out these harsh truths. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. But you can't look away. The awkward tension in that studio must have been thick enough to cut with a knife. Remember, this is the same Angel Reese that faced stat padding allegations all season long to the point her coach got fired. Even Kennedy Carter roasted her on her way out of Chicago.
Shaquille O'Neal knows talent when he sees it. Shaquille O'Neal knows a baller when he sees it. If Angel Reese has only heard your form is awful from us, the internet conglomerate, from the Twitter conglomerate, if that is the only time Angel Reese has heard her form is shaky, her release is like she's shot putting on these layups, if that's the only, everybody in her life has let her down.
Here's the thing about pro athletes, they love to spill the tea on social media. And when it comes to the Chicago Sky, Carter just turned up the heat to boiling point. You know those vague tweets that make you go, wait, what's the real story here? Well, Carter dropped a doozy that had everyone connecting the dots faster than you can say layup. Carter tweeted about the importance of making layups innocent enough, right, wrong. See, Angel Reese had been struggling with layups all season. We're talking a success rate of 42.4%, the worst in the WNBA. That's not just bad, that's maybe you should try underhand bad. Out of 321 attempts, Reese only managed to sink 136. Ouch.
Yes, it is unrivaled. It is also unwatched. Look, let's be honest, we can sugarcoat it all you want, but if you don't have Caitlin Clark playing women's basketball, or if you're not the NCAA tournament playing women's basketball, you got nothing. Zero zip, nothing. Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not.
And it's hilarious because it's my understanding now, she keeps telling us, Angel Reese keeps telling us that it's not just Caitlin Clark, that she's part of this brigade of women's basketball players that are leading all these new viewers into the WNBA. And I think it's these ratings right here that prove the biggest point. Is more statistical data that proves no, nobody's tuning in to see Angel.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skills. She has energy. She has an attitude. She'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else. She has nothing. She's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball.